All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Tabbi Hour Podcast.
Ooh. Oh.
Liv DuBro of Get Sexy GVL.
Of Get Sexy GVL.
And GVL Bathrooms.
And GVL Bathrooms. That is correct.
So where did it start? How did you end up in Greenville? Where are you from? Where'd you go to school?
I am originally from Maryland, a little town called Frederick. It's not anywhere close to Baltimore. Big, small town. Similar to Greenville. Actually, really similar to Greenville, but very historic.
Similar population?
Beats me. Everybody knew everybody. It was a little bit like a cult. So yeah, probably similar population. I waited my whole life to go to school at Clemson. That's where my parents went. We went down once a year for a football game. And no matter what was going on, everybody got along when we were at Clemson. It was like a big, huge family reunion. So I couldn't wait to go there. I went from 2016, graduated in December 2019, right before COVID. Had like the best 4 years of college football imaginable.
What'd you go to school for?
Human resources.
Okay.
And I minored in psychology. I felt like I needed to be in business.
Yeah.
Everybody does, I think.
Yeah, it's good. Communications and psychology. Two big ones for business.
Yeah, pretty much everything I've done professionally has been in communications. I like interacting with people. Actually, the reason I went into human resources, I don't know if you guys are into astrology or anything, but I'm a Capricorn. So work is like my way of life, and I'm a huge believer that everyone deserves to enjoy their job. So human resources is kind of evolving into company culture being taken a lot more seriously. There are a ton of studies and statistical data to support that employees do their best work when they like their job, when they like where they work.
Makes sense.
I was really interested in
that and the rise of the prevalence of ESG and governance and different things that HR is kind of the forefront of for those things.
Yeah, those are kind of like the boring things, though.
Yeah.
I like the fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I started Get Sexy GVL.
Yeah.
I like the fun stuff. I want to know when and where do people feel their best and have fun. I think everyone should have fun at work.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a super fun job, the environment should allow you to enjoy being at work.
So you moved to Greenville and you're like, I need to start this page because why? You couldn't find the places to go and find friends, or?
Yeah, I moved here in December this past year. And it was a bit sudden. I didn't expect to be in Greenville. And I wanted to know where to meet people. I didn't know a single soul here. Everyone moved away after Clemson, and no one could really tell me any bars to go to. I got a lot of Neat, and I heard about Bond. And the first time I went to Bond, I remember being like, okay, upstate South Carolina, that's fine. That'll do. We accept this. Yeah, but I searched like GVL bars, GVL nightlife, hashtags, and nothing was really there. So there was a huge gap in the social media market, in my opinion. Because Greenville loves young professionals. And they are coming in from everywhere. It's a great city. It's clean. It's pretty. It's got kind of a European feel. It's safe. And there's so much expanding. Every single day there is something new to do or see or go eat. And the only thing anyone talks about is food, which is great. I love food as much as the next girl. But when you're a young professional, you need time to unwind. And Greenville has the infrastructure for that. There are a fair amount of nightclubs for being in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, so similar story. Moved to Greenville 2.5 years ago and was like, okay, I'm working. How do I meet friends? How do I meet people? Where do I go? What's the places to do? And mixed with the problem of I hate waiting to close my bar tab was literally the reason I started Tabbi. It was literally like, hey, what if you could be in the same place with somebody? People are sick of swiping. People are sick of matching and then saying, let's go meet a week and a half from now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why? And then, that picture's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just see a profile, send a message to somebody that's in the same room and go, hey, can I buy you a drink? Do you want to talk? What's up? let's connect right now. We're in the same place. We're in the same bar. We're in the same corner of a cafe, whatever it is. That was literally the original idea.
Yeah, that would have been and actually still is amazing for me. I have a very extroverted personality and just kind of live life shamelessly. I don't have a lot to lose. So I go out by myself a fair amount and just see who I can meet. But to have people in front of me, and Tabby has the ability to see their age and what they do for work and excuse me, and a little biography about them would facilitate that so much more than just cut and dry. You're working with whatever they have on and whatever song they're vibing to.
A little bit of context there.
Yeah, exactly. Set the scene.
That's right.
That's funny. Tell me about the GVL bathrooms. How did that one start?
I have an irrational fear of bathrooms. It started with an irrational fear of wet paper, like wet paper towels or ugh. And I have dreams about dirty bathrooms all the time.
If you go to enough bars and nightclubs, you'll find enough dirty bathrooms.
Yeah, like my heart is literally racing just talking about this. And I went to the bathroom at Gianna, and I was so impressed with it. Actually, Gianna was the second one I did. The first one, I just got drunk at a work event, naturally, and it was at the cook station bathroom. And I thought, I'm going to rate this bathroom. This is kind of a fun bathroom. It was fine. It was maybe like a 7. I think I was very generous. I just started using TikTok, so I was doing like some fun editing. And then I just thought I should expose all the bathrooms here.
Yeah. The Pizza Portnoy rater of
Exactly.
Greenville bathrooms.
Exactly. Yes.
You could take that on the road.
Yes, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They have like the bathroom conversations. Have you heard? I think it's like bathroom confessions or something like that. Similar concept, but it's like a rating system.
So who has the best bathroom in the bar world in Greenville?
Gianna is a very strong contender. They've got a great ceiling. It's like marble. Their sink is hot though. Do not turn it all the way up. Camp has a wonderful bathroom.
Camp has good bathrooms.
Yeah, gender neutral. They're cozy. Like you could hang out there.
They have chairs. Yeah.
Yes. They've got like hangers in there too, just in case you want to not just put your coat on a little hook. If you want to put your coat on a hanger while you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next level.
SIP has the worst bathroom thus far. Terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Absolutely.
Worse than Connolly's.
I've actually never been to Connolly's.
Okay.
And I know that I should because the target audience for Get Sexy GVL is a lot of the time in Connolly's. But there's something about it. I just don't want to do it.
If your focus is to look for good bathrooms, then don't go to Connolly's with that channel.
Well, even for Get Sexy GVL, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it.
I met my wife there. It's pretty funny.
Aw. I love hearing that story.
It's funny. It's funny how many people in Greenville have met their spouse at Connolly's. I don't know what it is about Connolly's. It's the right light at the right time of night.
Okay, so
Gives
when the
everyone
time
right
is,
angle.
Yeah.
when the time is right for me, I will be intuitively led to Connolly's.
It was the first
There it
and
is.
probably the only time I've ever been to Connolly's.
Really?
And I met my wife that night. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Would you have bought her a drink using the Tabbi app?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have, I'm excited to never have to close my tab again. Like watching it work, and this launch event at Barley's, I know you came to the one at Society.
Mm-hmm.
Being upstairs at Barley's, talking to the bartender, seeing 17 people, 18 people at the same time that like they open their tab and they're like, wait, that's all I have to do. Now I can just see my drinks throughout. And you can keep a tab throughout the night. How many times are you like, I wonder how much I spent? Like, is somebody else adding drinks to my tab?
Yes.
Just the
that
ability
happens
to
a lot.
have that live. And then when you're ready to go, one click out the door. bartender gets their tip, everything's done.
So once you open a tab on Tabbi, is that the only way to order?
No, so there's no ordering through the platform.
Okay.
So we are. I worked for years in the restaurant industry. I love what bartenders do. Bartenders and servers are artisans at their craft. They're really good at social. I don't want to remove that element of the social human connection. I just want to simplify the back end of that transaction. So you open your tab, it takes your first and last name from the credit card that's on file, and it opens a tab in that point of sale under your first last name. You go up to the bartender and say, I want a gin and tonic. They say, what's your name? You give them your name. They add your drinks to your tab. At the end of it, when you close your tab, it just disappears from their system, prints a receipt, and you're done.
This is revolutionary.
I don't know how it's not been done. It's so simple.
I don't either. I actually had a thought for something similar, but it had nothing to do with the tab. It had to do with, if you don't have the Tabbi app, anybody who's watching, download it, because there is an entire map that shows you the bars, the nightclubs, and the restaurants in the area. And that's what I was looking for, ultimately. And Instagram kind of implemented something similar to that, because when I go somewhere, I research where to go. I don't want to waste my time at a place that doesn't fit my vibe at all, where I'm not going to meet the type of people I want to meet. And that's what Get Sexy GVL is, to go to those places and really feel it out. But I have to get, from word of mouth and from Instagram accounts. This is a map with all of those things in one place. You can see people's Google reviews. You can see if there are friends of yours on the app there. If they favorite it, you can favorite it. So you have everything in one area. I don't know. For me, that is brilliant.
Well, and even the numbers on the map, imagine you're traveling for work and you go down to Charleston and you don't know anybody in Charleston. And you're like, hey, I want to go meet people on this platform. You can open up a map of King Street, see all the bars and restaurants there, and there'll be little numbers, 5, 7, 8. That's how many current Tabbi users are in that venue right now that you could show up and start having a conversation within a platform without having to go have a human, hi, how are you? You can introduce yourself, and then you can have a drink in the same place. It's so simple. I don't know how it's never been done.
Well, okay, so that brings us to the social / it's kind of it's not a dating app.
Mm-mm. Can be. People are going to use it today.
Yes, which is so interesting. I don't personally. Do you use dating apps?
I mean, I'll dabble with Hinge here and there.
Depending on.
But I do. I mean, I think through Tabbi, it makes it more of an organic, introduction. I hate sitting there, having a 2-day, 3-day, week-long conversation with someone that you matched with. This is kind of all right, I think that person across the bar seems like a cool person, good-looking person. So I'm gonna hit him up on Tabbi.
Yeah, you're here, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And you can direct message each other.
Yeah.
You have to request, obviously. But you get also, I hate that with Tinder, Hinge, it's luck of the draw.
Yes.
It's if they come across your feed, great. And in Greenville, they probably are going to come across your feed because there's only so many people here. But in general, you don't have to get lucky. You can scroll through and see that somebody like that is my type. They're here. They're in this bar.
Sure.
Well, and we're not charging them for every third like, and we're not
I know.
charging them to send a message or see the people that like you. It's just
Tinder Gold.
It's just we want to simplify the tab closure process, and we charge a simple $1.50 convenience fee to close your tab. But the social piece is free to use. We just want to connect people.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I one cool thing about the messaging, so you can either add somebody as a friend, but a young girl that's attractive that goes out in Greenville and guys just start bombarding you with messages, Tabbi kind of silences that and puts it in a pending list and it expires in 24 hours. So you can go through that list and look and go, while I was at SIP last night, this person and this person sent me a message and I can accept. While I was at Inc. last night, this person, and you can accept, ignore, block, deny, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so when it expires, I can't see it anymore. Can that person ever message me again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
After the 24-hour window, if you're back in the same location.
So they can't send me multiple messages in one night, though, right?
No, they only
No.
can send one message.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they
You better
get
be
one.
crafting that with
that's
your
right.
boys.
If they screw up and just say, "Hey,
Ooh.
send," and didn't know that it's just one shot, you get one shot.
You get one shot.
We're
Yeah,
giving you
need a
one
little
arrow
creativity.
in your quiver.
That's right.
Do not miss your chance to blow.
That's right.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of the fun stuff of a dating app, but it's not a dating app.
Okay. For those who have dated or are dating in Greenville, again, it's a small town. Chances are you're going to run into someone that I remember going to Neat, and the first time I ever went there, looking around and realizing I was the odd one out because everybody in there knew somebody who had had sex with someone else in there. It's a small town. Big small town, but small. Let's say I don't want to be in the same bar as my ex, or I don't want him to see what bar I'm in. Am I able to?
Yeah, so you can just turn off your location and Tabby always knows your location because of the tab feature in the social piece. But you can easily stop displaying your profile to friends. You can block an individual. You can turn off don't show my profile to people nearby. In the future, the next thing that's coming is that you can limit certain people from seeing your profile.
Okay.
So like specific privacy settings of, I don't want this person to know when I'm out.
Right.
We can be friends, but I don't want them to know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Or I want to know where you're at, but I don't want you to know where I'm at.
And you never know anybody's precise location on Tabby. It's not like you're on a
Okay.
map. So if you were to go to Society, for example, and you have your location on and you are sharing to your friends, and we're friends on Tabby, I would see that Liv is at Society, but the second you leave the 100-meter perimeter and go home, nobody knows where you're at.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an auto check-in.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
hey, I'm here and I'm ready to be social, but you don't need to know where I live.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
It's different.
There's nothing like this. And
No.
it's so simple.
Yeah.
You would think somebody has done it.
Yeah,
Now.
it's live in the App Store.
It's live at the App Store,
Surreal.
guys.
I don't think it's hit us yet.
No.
It's live, but
No, I mean, and we were talking about it the other day. You have kids that are sharing their location on Snapchat, but let's say last time they checked in, like 30 minutes ago or
Right.
what have you. And I think, as a safety precaution in the world of data that we live in now, that's just something that everyone considers. I think Tabby does a great job at providing the good qualities of having your location on without.
it's an interesting thought in the tech world of, if somebody's hacking a product to do something similar, it's probably something that people want to do. So an example of that is like high school kids have been using their Bluetooth to airdrop Snapchat handles. And they have their airdrop wide open. So like if they're in the same room with somebody, they can send an airdrop message of a Snapchat handle and then send a message through Snapchat. So that's kind of a hack
Yeah.
that they're doing. We're just providing
Am I old?
No.
I'm 24, guys. Somebody airdropped
I've
me
got
their
a-
Snapchat block.
I've got a decade on you and I don't even have Snapchat. So,
And you're better off
Yeah.
for it.
but Tabby allows that same experience, but safely, securely with perimeters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And with the travel feature of knowing what bar should you go to that night.
yeah.
I mean, I love Bond. I really like Sip. I love Society. There are certain places. I love Paloma, Coral. Little shout out to all my faves, but I never know who's gonna be there, and sometimes that's nice. Sometimes that's fine. If you want that, don't open the Tabby app. But if you do want to know, where is everybody tonight?
Yeah. Where's the vibe?
Yeah, what's the vibe? Yeah, I think that would be. I know we mentioned a little bit earlier before we started the podcast, and excuse me if you don't want to talk about this yet, but I think it's so exciting, the idea of being able to pull up your favorites lists and see, oh, there's a DJ tonight at SIP.
Yeah. Yeah, events are coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Greenville does not have a great music scene right now, but I think honestly that's because it is kind of touch and go. Unless you follow someone on Instagram, you don't know if there's going to be a DJ or a live musician there.
Sure.
You just go there and it just so happens to be. And that's fun. But if you're really in the mood to dance, but Bond isn't really your scene, or you want some ambient music in the background, it would be so nice to know I can go here and get exactly the vibe that I'm looking for.
I agree. I think it helps a lot with local musicians too. You're gonna know through like
True.
Ticketmaster and all the big hubs where the big names are coming. But if you're a up and coming musician, as I know you are, then if Bond or Society can say, hey, we've got, Liv is playing tonight. That gives you good exposure to people on the platform and people local.
So tell me about your music career.
My music career has been a long time coming. When I was maybe 5 or 6, I thought that I was going to be the next Leanne Rimes. And I used to write country songs because I thought I was a cowgirl, and I didn't know how to write music. I've never played an instrument. I still don't play an instrument, which is kind of a handicap. I would love to learn. But I would just draw a line to show how long you held on to the note and when you went up and the kind of the riffs you would do. God, I wish I could find those. I'm sure they're so funny. But I was kind of in theater in middle school, and I was a theater kid at heart, but I don't love musicals. I like them. But if it came down to you can go see Guys or Dolls or you can go see J-Lo, I'm picking J-Lo every single time. There's not a doubt in my mind. So when I ended my most recent position, someone that I was just doing drop-in dance classes said that he thought I would be great to perform at, I don't know, a cruise or something. And that really boosted my confidence. And I don't know, I just got really serious about it all of a sudden. I decided to look into vocal instructor for the first time in over a decade and booked studio time and started writing songs. I'm a huge poetry lover girl. I love writing. Yeah, I don't know. And then I went into the studio and it was a perfect match. So hopefully I will have at least one single out by December. But I've kind of been churning out all of my emotions into songs. Call me a little Taylor Swift. If you are an ex-boyfriend and you're wondering if one of my songs is about you, it is. So any of you.
I love it. I love it.
All of you, any of you.
All of you and any of you. It's about you.
So you said you went into the studio and it was a perfect match. Tell me about that. How does that chemistry, is it between you and the person directing, producing, or?
Yeah, I'm working with someone local. The studio is called TuneWorks, and it's over by like the Greenville Downtown Airport. And it's a real simple space. I'm working with someone who is a musician in the area. His name is Holiday. And I actually saw him perform his EP live at Society through a work event and was really impressed. I was a competitive dancer, and I just kind of always felt like I had the eye for, oh, this person can make it. There's that certain je ne sais quoi. And I reached out to him specifically to help me, and he's been fantastic. It was, but also there was a huge group of people who kind of came in and out, and this musical community that I've never had or felt. My parents are very supportive, but they don't understand music at all. They think I'm good, but they're like, compared to who? We don't know.
Yeah.
And then I came out with something, and they started to take me seriously. They're like, oh, okay. If you want this, go for it. So I focus on pop music. I would love to get into a little more like rock pop. But right now, I'm very heavily influenced by early 2000s pop. Britney Spears, J-Lo, even Lady Gaga, maybe Nelly Furtado. Oh, that era of Nelly Furtado, Timbaland, and Justin Timberlake when
That was
they
a
were
great
running
album.
things.
JT.
Yeah, great album.
That
And
was
then JB came in as JT's son.
That's right.
did anyone else think that Timbaland and Justin Timberlake were like connected somehow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot take there.
I was probably like 9. I thought Timbaland, I'm so sorry if you ever see this, but I thought Timbaland was like Justin Timberlake's backup guy.
Okay.
I'm going to tag him in it.
That's fine. The more exposure, the better. And I
right.
hope this
That's
is
right.
is a hot enough take that it makes the cut.
I mean, you might be onto something.
Yeah, but their names are so similar, and they were doing everything together.
Yeah. I see. I can see that.
Both talented, extremely talented.
Very
guys.
talented.
I just the music video that Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton did, Say Something, that they recorded live in that like giant theater.
Yeah.
And they did all acoustic miking. So it was like just condenser mics in the building and had musicians in different part of the building. Had like 250 people vocals. It was crazy. It's a crazy. If you haven't seen it,
I
with
haven't.
a good sound system, we'll check it out before you leave.
Okay.
It's really good. So coming out? You got a single coming out in December.
Yes.
How many songs have you written that you're going to be putting on an EP or a track?
I would love to have an EP of 6 songs also done by December. I don't want to release something and not have things in the queue.
Yeah.
I'm really confident in what I did my very first time in the studio. That was a huge confidence booster to me because I always thought I could do it, but I had just never done it.
Yeah. Until you're there, how are you supposed to know?
I can't make music myself either. So I can write poems all day long and I can sing them in the voice recording app on my phone, and I do. I have a lot of them. But it takes a village, baby.
Yeah.
It does. So hopefully I will have that. I don't think it will take me very long because I got a lot to say all the time. I'm super emotional and big heart on my sleeve type of girl. The thing is, I want it to sound cohesive, but I don't want to put myself in a box.
Yeah.
I know it's the hip thing to say now. Oh, I listen to every kind of music.
Yeah.
But I do. What kind of music are you guys into?
I listen to everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
And that's such a cop-out
cliche.
answer.
I mean,
It's not. So he and I are really into music, and we're like, it ranges from the Dylan, Dire Straits, classics of Steely Dan and the old stuff, to like, I'm a pretty big Drake fan.
I'm regrettably a pretty big Drake fan as well.
Yeah, I don't like his. I
I'm
don't.
all over the place.
I don't like his newest album, but you're like in a '60s big band era right now.
Yep.
Okay. Like?
Vander Ross. I mean, I'll go from it's really like, I feel like vibe dependent. In the morning I like a little
Absolutely.
60s, and then I'll throw a little Tame Impala, some
Right.
Moon Taxi, get me through the day, and then finish up with a little Meek Mill and really like
Okay.
close it out strong.
There's an entire ride.
That's right. That's right.
It's a journey.
That's right.
So yeah, it's all literally all over the place.
If you guys were a music genre, what would you be?
Ooh.
Personality type,
Yeah.
that's a really good question. Do you know the answer to that?
She was asking questions like this at Society the other day.
This is
It
my
put me
favorite
on the
game.
spot. Put me on the spot. I would say like alt rock, like a little bit of emotions, but I'm also gonna like give the energy. You're
Okay.
looking at me like
It's a mix. I'm just thinking like it's a mix of Chris Stapleton with
Okay.
Eminem.
so like
And-
country soul, but also like knees weak mom spaghetti.
Yeah, like it's just this. It's such a range. I don't know how to put that in one box. I don't.
But the thing is, I see it though.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And honestly, I respect that answer.
The Chris Stapleton to Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's two different sides of the spectrum that
It's
are
also
very
not
different.
one genre. You didn't really answer the question.
No,
so
but I think that's
Yeah, I don't think it is one genre.
you can't put them in a box.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to change your answer?
I'm gonna stick with that for all of you.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. So what led you to come up with the name, Get Sexy GVL, excuse me, and then also just, the content that you're putting on the page?
Get Sexy GVL. Sex and the City is my comfort show.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So that explains a lot. The Sex and the City thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I relate heavily to Carrie. New York City is my dream. And in my opinion, really the only city in America that's worth it to me. No offense to any other cities. I'm a city girl. I like movement. I like meeting new people, different types of people, different backgrounds. I love hearing people's stories. That's why I ask so many questions. I'm really interested in the nitty gritty
Sure.
of people. And you find that so easily in cities where everyone's kind of a stranger and everybody kind of wants to share their story, whether they do it outwardly or not.
So bringing that Sex in the City kind of big city vibe to a, growing city like Greenville.
It's so up and coming.
Yeah.
Greenville is so up and coming. And the first time I came to Greenville, I thought, this is it. I was coming from Clemson and
Sure.
I thought this was my whole life. And then COVID happened and I thought to myself, okay, I want to see everything. But while I'm here, I want to know exactly what Greenville has to offer. There have to be things because it is so expanding
Yeah.
constantly. And if it's not, we need to focus on what sexy things are here and pull the attention to it so that business owners or whoever is calling the shots kind of with what goes into Greenville sees that, oh, these young professionals want these things. They need these things. At the end of the week, if they're going to give us their all in the office, they need a place to unwind.
For sure.
But Greenville's still kind of developing their culture, its culture, I guess, and its overall, I hate to use the word brand, but
Yeah.
kind of. There's a large range, and yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to focus on what those things are and what they look like, and I wanted to do it honestly.
Yeah.
I will not put anything on Get Sexy GVL that I don't truly believe. I want every place to get exposure, and I absolutely do not want to bash any small business because I'm very passionate about people pursuing something that they're so passionate about, that they take a risk and go out on a limb and create that. But if you need to up your customer service, if you could be a sexy place, but you are not integrating
Yeah.
this thing, maybe somebody needs to tell you.
There's a transitioning happening in Greenville and across the country now of young professionals are now becoming the owners of the businesses, and the old guard and the old way of kind of managing those businesses is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And the new mindset of if you want to create a fun culture, the culture that really is the core of a company that people want to work for is starting to become more prevalent. And there's a lot of people that are going, you know what? I don't want to work for you. I don't want to do this anymore. I would rather go jump off this cliff and try to build an airplane on the way down, which is like starting a business, because that's
Right.
exactly what starting a business is like. Jumping off a cliff and building an airplane on the way down and hoping
Okay.
it can learn how to fly it too once you have it together. Those people are tired of the old way of doing things and they're changing it. And I think it's exciting to see. I mean, Tabbi is one of those. Tabbi is one of those companies that it's going to scale in Greenville. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to grow nationally. And then we're headquartered here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be bringing tech jobs to the upstate. We're going to bring, there's a bunch of startups in Greenville right now that could be putting Greenville on the map for tech,
Mm-hmm.
becoming a hub like Atlanta, like New York, like Austin.
Oh, it will absolutely be a
Yeah.
hub.
So it's interesting to see the transition that's happening, which is cool.
And how long have you been in Greenville?
2.5 years.
Okay. have you seen a major change since you've been here?
So I moved here in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh.
So I feel like I didn't truly know Greenville before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, like according to my wife, it's just back to normal now.
Yeah.
So I don't know that anybody really. But
what's your favorite thing about Greenville?
The one downtown is spotless and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do a really good job of maintaining the city itself. And so just being able to walk, it's extremely safe. But the community of people, my experience with business owners and with people that I've collaborated with and worked with is that everybody is willing to be a part of whatever you're doing in addition to what they're doing and want to like help you succeed.
So I know, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I know Barley's is the first restaurant to really be integrated into the Tabbi app. Do you have people on deck, like speaking of business owners who want to help you succeed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an abundance of those. We're working on some tech things that are putting us different POS systems and things. But yeah, I mean, every bar owner that I've spoken to is like, this is awesome. Let me know when you can put it in my restaurant. And it's free for the bar and restaurant. Again, $1.50 convenience fee for the user, free for the bar owner.
Wow.
A lot of people, we've created a service. It's like talking to Josh Beebe, who owns Barley's. He's like, so my bartenders and servers can now focus on making more money instead of collecting previously earned money, which is what pretty well said. So yeah, the bar owners are excited.
You really just took out any headache of going out. I mean, you go out and you want to have a good time and Greenville's awesome because you can bar hop really easily.
No doubt.
Downtown. The one thing that holds you back is having to stand there and close out your tab while the bartenders are busy taking care of everyone else. So
if you really think through, and I mean, if you get granular with the detail of the transaction, so you walk up to the bar, you order a drink, they then ask you for payment, which they then take your card, go back to the computer, swipe it, start a tab, put your drink on it, hand you your card back. So we've eliminated that step because you did that at the front door. Like before you walked in the bar, your tab is open and it's already there.
And your card is loaded onto the app.
Card is loaded. Tabbi doesn't actually directly hold your card information. We put that into a secure vault that's third party, and it's through Spreedly or Stripe. So an extremely secure, well-known billion-dollar company holding your credit card information, not me and Tucker and Tabbi. So that's extremely secure. Yeah, and we're just pushing that information to the point of sale that you walk in and just say, hey, I'm Brad. I'd like a whiskey. They give you your whiskey. That's the whole thing they have to do. Like they're done. That transaction is over. You don't have to open a tab or close a tab.
And when you're done, you just pull up your phone and you say, I'm out.
You can open it and close it, or you can let it auto close based on location, or you can just let it close at the end of the night.
Auto close based on location.
When you leave the location, we can trigger it to auto close. When you close the tab, we can trigger it to in the future order you an Uber if you want to go to a specific location.
What?
So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
Cool stuff coming. So the pain points of going out, we're simplifying a lot of those. There's a whole other suite of technology that we won't dive into today that's fixing things for the bar and restaurant side too. The pain points for the servers, for the bartenders, for the bar owners, there's a lot of those things that are getting streamlined. So.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
You guys, your brains are so powerful.
It's fun. It's fun just building things.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, we'll have to do this again.
We absolutely will have to do this again. And I want to get into more of the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
I love talking about Tabbi, but I want to really know your guys' stories because that's what this is usually about, right?
Yeah.
Well,
we're not Joe Rogan yet. We don't go 3 hours. So we'll cut
Not
it.
yet.
Keep it to the Tabbi hour.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming. It's
Absolutely.
great. It was a good
Thank
time.
you. Thank
Thanks,
you so
Liv.
much for having me.
Live.
See
Get
ya.
sexy GVL.
Get sexy GVL and GVL bathrooms and of Light and Livy personally.